Hi, my name is River, and I will be teaching you about time of check to time of use, also known as Toctou. Before we go into what Toctou is, let's go into the concept of race condition beforehand. Race conditions occur when two threads access a shared variable simultaneously. Let's say I'm adding 1 twice to a variable using two separate processes. I get my desired result, 5, but I want this to be faster. So I run these processes at the same time. Since they're both adding 1 to the same variable, I would expect to ultimately get 5 as a result. We all know the thing with code is it doesn't work this way. With both processes reading the variable as 3 and running along, both processes will add 1 to their own 3 and obtain their own result, 4. As a brief aside, if both processes differ, let's say one process adds 1 and the other adds 2, the process that writes last will be the end result, as the last process will overwrite what the previous thread wrote. Toctou is a vulnerability involving changes occurring between time of checking condition and consequent use. It can happen when more than one process uses and changes a common variable at a time. This is known as a race condition, where unexpected results are obtained due to unforeseen sequence of events. Here's a real-world example. The victim wants to make coffee with sugar and takes a moment to check that sugar is going to be added to the coffee. The sugar is confirmed to indeed be sugar. And then the victim takes a step out to do something. The attacker replaces the sugar with salt after the victim checked a condition. And when the victim returns, the salt is used instead of the sugar in the coffee. What does this mean in the context of code? Why should you care? Well, Toctou race conditions can be used to compromise files through unauthorized access, deletion, and manipulation. An attacker may escalate their privileges to do whatever they want. Let's take a look at another example. A vulnerable program is checking if it has access to a certain file. It confirms access privileges and is about to use the file for whatever purpose the program intends. Within this window, an attacker replaces the file name with a symlink to a protected file with the same name as the initial file the vulnerable program intended to use, and the program executes like normal. There are several possible consequences of Toctou. Files may be compromised through either unauthorized access, deletion, or manipulation, as I stated earlier. Naturally, in this example, the window between time of check and time of use was heavily exaggerated. Surely that window is narrow and relatively difficult to exploit, right? At face value, this is true, but this window is one that can be opened wider. For instance, the attacker can do what's called an algorithmic complexity attack, where the attacker makes a typically fast operation take abnormally long. Instead of creating just one symlink that points to the desired file, why not create a symlink that points to another symlink that points to another symlink, and so on? This will make the check take a while, making the window for an attack much longer. How do you defend against this? It's actually pretty difficult given there's not a specific step-by-step process to prevent all Toctou attacks. One way to defend against Toctou attacks is to use exception handling instead of checking. The process executes without checking, thus eliminating the window that Toctou exploits. Exception handling works because no check occurs, and fail handling takes place at time of use. Transaction processing is another way to defend against Toctou attacks. It involves viewing parts of a process as indivisible, and if one part fails, the entire process fails and thus does not execute completely. That's all for Toctou. Thanks for watching.